All right, welcome to another episode of Geek-Men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds, ADHD Theater. I'm Dustin.
I'm Pumara.
Dairy.
How's it going, all? Welcome to the last ADHD Theater of 2024. Let's see. I believe. Hey.
Oh, Mama Pam's here.
Pops and
Hell yeah.
Mama in the chat. So I think we'll be starting season 7 for next week. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But so how's everyone doing tonight? Have you watched anything other than our movies?
I don't think I've watched anything different than what I talked about last week. Yeah, I don't think so. I think still just waiting for episodes of Landman to keep rolling out. It's got to be close to the season finale, I would think. They're typically like 8 or 9 episodes, those series. So,
right.
Yeah, watching that Jetty show on BritBox.
Oh yeah.
Have
you watched any more Black Dove?
No. I've wanted to this week, but like every time I sat down to watch something, honestly, I just nodded off and fell asleep for the most part. So no, I think I'm 2 episodes in and still need to watch more of it. Got to watch more of Cross. Dude, I have so many series that are like just started and then I got sidetracked on something else. I need to go back and inventory every streaming service. Here's the shit that I started?
You need to download TV Time. It's an app for your phone, and you can plug in all the shows you're watching.
Oh.
And then you can toggle when you have watched this episode or not watched it or rewatched and so on and so forth. So I'm on there as I Am Superman 825, and I've put all the shows I've watched in there for several years now.
Oh, that's cool.
That's been what I've run with. So
10.
Never heard of it.
I feel like it's been a long time, but
yeah,
TV show time. And that goes for everyone out there. TV show time. Well, I think they just changed the name, simplified it to just TV Time.
Well, and that's perfect for like when we have a streaming service that you don't have separate profiles on.
Right.
Because like some of them I get in there and like my wife and I have watched the same shit, or my stepdaughter has watched some of it, and then I'm like, where the fuck was I at?
Right.
So yeah. Which most of them now have separate profiles.
That's
but sometimes
the
we use the same one. Okay. That'll be good.
Yeah. And right now we have all of our shows in here. You want to talk about what we've watched, Kumara?
We watched Yellowstone.
Did you finish it?
Yeah, we finished Yellowstone.
That was hard.
Which we're prepared to do if you want to do a series review.
Yeah. That works for me.
Goodness.
All I have to say is Beth is the most badass character ever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely
100%.
epic. And I agree with you. I do think. Okay. You're quiet. You're too quiet, Pumara. I don't understand.
I don't either.
I hear pretty good. So.
Well, it must just be me. I don't understand why I'm. Oh, I could do this. I think now say something. Oh.
Was it too loud?
All right. Now say something.
Yo.
Okay. All right. Well, that must have been it. But anyway, what was I even talking about? Yellowstone. Yellowstone. I do agree with you. I think they just like truncated the season, and it's, okay, this is basically where we're going with it. We just have to take all of this and throw it away.
Throw it away.
Yeah.
Yep. Skip to
And it's disappointing, but
Yeah, but there's only so much they could do with it. I mean, yeah, if they would have had another season, it probably would have been better because Taylor Sheridan had said he was writing it. When he started writing it, there was an end in mind of how many seasons there were going to be. It wasn't like Grey's Anatomy where they were just going to keep piling dog shit on top of dog shit season. It was, hey, we're writing this many seasons and that story's done, and then we'll start a different story. But yeah, it just forced them to rush through it. And it is what it is.
Did you catch the there's a couple things as they were cleaning up and hauling things out. It's like they placed like old ancient machinery type ancient wagons in the scenery to be carted off in the auction. That is probably going to be in 1923 or 1886. Yeah.
That was awesome.
I was like, hey, I don't know what that is yet, but it's probably in this other show.
Yep.
So I think that was pretty cool. I do think that it would have had to have ended with a certain revenge story, especially because, like you said, Beth is a badass, and I don't think there was any way that character she was up against was ever going to have a happy ending.
No.
And I'm trying to dance around spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, because I hate to be one of those shows, even though it's been off. I think it's been at least
a few
week
weeks.
a week or two. But I still
if you're a Yellowstone fan and you haven't watched the finale of it by now, then you're not much of a fan.
Well,
so
we just watched it last night.
But you made it in the deadline.
Excuse me. Gosh.
Like right when I said that's the deadline.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're still true fans. Okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to the 1923.
Yep.
I think that looks pretty good. I know Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford are just absolute rock stars, and excited to see what kind of shit gets stirred up when Bubba Boy gets home. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Spencer.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't. Yeah, he's married, right?
Yeah, he's married now to that English lady.
Yeah, but he had to leave her behind to make his way.
Yeah. But they were eventually going to meet back up, but supposedly. Who knows?
That's the plan.
Wow.
Yeah. But so we also watched all of what was the show?
From.
Yeah.
We're all caught up on From, which I like the series so far. I hope, I believe there's season 4, From season 4. Okay, it says episode begins 2025. First the first episode won't drop until 2026. Jeez,
Jeez.
Good grief.
Which that's becoming a lot more common instead of shows like filming one season per year to get them back to back. It's like year and a half, 2-year waits on a lot of this shit.
I know, right? Like, and for like a show like From, who has younger actors in it, it becomes a problem because all of a sudden now
They're aging.
They're, a teenager and they should be 8.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, remember
They-
the Stranger Things kids, they were all so cute in season 1, and
Yeah.
now they're just like that ugly fucking awkward phase in the last season. I'm
Right.
like, I don't want to look at these kids and like they're tweenies. Like,
Yeah.
God. Ugh.
Yeah. It's rough. It gets rough because it's like, and
Mhm.
what's her face? The 11, the character, whatever her name. Oh, Millie Bobby Brown.
Mhm.
Obviously she started developing, and it's like, so they had to wrap her up and all that stuff. It's like, come on, just film it and get it over with.
Mhm.
Well, not film the scenes and.
We know
Anyway.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it's not like, oh, just film her naked. No. I'm not saying that. Anyway, I digress. Real quick, I know this is off topic. We would normally only talk about this on the Monday show, but this is the last, and I'm doing Zombie a solid here. This is the last weekend to get your orders in for the 4 Horsemen Rise of the Beasts, or I think that's what it's called. Reign of the Beasts, I think. Yeah. So I'd be remiss, and I'd be, I'm sure Zombie would be hurt really bad if I didn't give that shout out. So I think I saw a post from the Dork Layer, and it was so today's prices, if you go and order the whole wave today or this weekend, this deadline, it's $320. Come Monday, it's $445. That's just how it's gonna work. So if you want this cheaper price, you're gonna have to bite the bullet and go for it. It's not like it's an unworthy expenditure, but we talk about them frequently. So, and the website to place the order is storehorseman.myshopify.com. Storehorseman.com. And if you Google that enough, it'll eventually take you to the right place. But
So you have to Google it more than once?
no, I mean, I had to type it in because I tried typing in storehorseman.com and it gave me an error. But then it's like, okay, well, let's try it again a different way. And it's store-horseman.myshopify.com is the link that I found that you place your pre-order, which I also found interesting because there's awesome. I could just show you, but let me stop doing this. Nope. Let's share screen. Share. This. Share. And then got to put it up. All right. So there's awesome things. So the final week to pre-order, final weekend. There's tons of awesome things. Like Afarius is still in stock. Swig is still in stock. I mean, these are older in stock Legions, so they would ship right away. But Swig is like, oh, he's so cool. But some other things I found interesting. They have skateboards and a D20, which
Cool.
I thought is awesome.
Yeah.
Has the store logo on it. Store Horseman logo. The 4 Horsemen's logo. Let's try to go back. I found this interesting. Bear Barbarian parts. So these are always in demand. So I thought it was cool that they just had Bear Barbarian parts to hop on and place your order. That's pretty cool. And this is a good price. So, but I digress. So that's my shout out for Four Horsemen. This is the final weekend. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and just say, Monday, you join us on Monday, 12:30. We'll be hanging out with Corn Boy. So you don't want to miss that. It's going to be fun. And it's also at a special time, 9 o'clock. So the holiday season is upon us, and, you know, we don't have to dance around certain windows that are constraining to us. So yeah, let's party and hang out with Corn Boy on Monday. Now, on to our movies. Did anyone have anything else to talk about the shows we watched?
Oh, okay. I've been hitting episodes of Silo here and there as I can too. So it's been, season 2's been pretty good so far.
Good. Yeah, that's definitely one on my list. We still have, I almost said Justified. No, we have, it's not Found. It's not. What's the show we watched with Justin Hartley? Tracker.
Oh, Tracker. Yeah.
Yes.
We still have a couple episodes of Tracker to watch and Silo to watch. Been interested in Black Doves. There's this show on Netflix. I think it's it looks interesting. It's called I don't have it, but it's Silo, or not Silo. It's hey Matthew, how you doing? I forget what there's a cool show, okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh hell, I didn't see that the second season of Squid Game already hit.
Yeah, Squid Game hit. But there's another show that it's foreign.
Is it the one we just saw the preview for?
Yeah. But I'm trying to remember what it is, and it's in my list, so just got to pull it up. Bear with me as I pull it up here. It looks really interesting. La Palma.
Oh yeah, it's on their top 10 list.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It looks interesting. So that, Black Doves, and Madness, and 6888 are shows that I've been wanting to watch. I don't know what any of them are about, but I know they look interesting. Wow. Jean-Claude Van Damme is in Netflix's top 10 list. It's called Kill Them All. Oh, that's funny. Who would have thought that
old JCVD
would be in the top 10 list? So let's talk about these movies. Let's go in order, I suppose.
That would probably be best.
Might as well. You know, Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2. So Christmas Chronicles 1, what do you have to say about it?
Well, I mean, the movie's pretty, it follows a certain archetype. I mean,
yeah,
basically brother and sister, they're messing around and then they have to help save Christmas. Like something goes wrong, they have to help Santa save Christmas, which is literally most of Christmas movies. I mean, if there's a Christmas movie, it's usually Christmas is at risk. We've got to
Yep.
save Christmas. So
Hi, Jinx.
yeah, but I mean, I've said on this show many times. I will always say it. I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan.
Yeah.
Like, I just love, and it's not as much as the way he plays characters. I just think like he would be a fun dude to hang around with. Like, he brought to this movie as Santa, like that smart ass. Like, I kind of just pictured it was Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China as Santa Claus. And
Okay.
it was fun. Like, the way he responds and the way he talks in some of these scenes was hilarious,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Where he's not the just jolly, the jolly old, like,
I don't do the ho
nice
ho.
guy.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, like, and he's really animated, and like the scene where they're in the jail,
Yeah.
like he's talking to the cops, and
Oh, jeez.
dude, it just, like, overall, I found this movie a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it. I mean, it was funny at the beginning. His stepson is the dad. I'm like, God damn, has this got the whole, like, Goldie Hawn, Hudson,
Goldie Hawn is in the second
Russell
one, so-
family in it? I'm like, damn.
She's at
like,
the end in the first one.
yeah. So
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was like, man, this is a family affair, this movie. All they needed to add was Kate and Wyatt Russell, and they would have had the whole family in there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, for who it's intended for, the target audience for this movie, I mean, it's probably one of the better Christmas movies, like contemporary Christmas movies that I've seen.
Yeah.
It's
have to
something
agree.
that, like, I wouldn't mind if I had little kids sitting down and watching with them.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
every
and-
year, like, watch it once a year if it's their favorite Christmas movie.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's how I felt watching it. Cause I don't know. For some reason, I thought he swore a lot more in the first one, especially. And I'm thinking, like, okay, well, I guess this isn't appropriate for my kids to watch. But after watching it this past time, I'm just like, man, this is fun. We should have really watched this with the kids.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was a while ago when we first watched it, so they were a lot younger too. Now they're
Yeah.
just exposed to everything.
Right. And
Mhm.
because especially now it's like, okay, well, I know they've heard, them say, damn and all this other stuff. So I know they've heard that kind of stuff. They hear it in the music. They hear it everywhere now.
I mean, if your kids go to public school,
They don't, but
oh, they
Yeah.
don't? Okay, I was about to say they've heard everything you can think of
yeah,
by this
No,
point.
but they're on YouTube, which is public school.
True.
yeah, sometimes, but
But
it's not how I would have it, but still.
I thought it was, like, at the beginning when they first come upon him and get in the sleigh,
Mhm.
and then they go through, like, the time warp thing, the wormhole.
Yeah.
Like, the special effects for a Netflix movie were actually really good.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like, this looks, the sleigh scenes where they're flying through the air and stuff, I was like, damn, this looks better than some of the shit that Marvel's pumping out.
You're right.
Like, I was like, damn, like, they should have got this special effects team to do Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
No kidding. Oh my goodness. Like, and the whole thing, Doctor Strange with the third freaking eye, it's just like, no. Close that sumbitch back up. I do not want to see that. It's horrible. Or the MODOK
Mm-hmm.
with the weird photoshopped head in the middle of the giant. It's just, come on, really? No. This can't be the best. This can't be the best of what we can accomplish. It's I don't know.
Yeah, I was surprised, like, how much I enjoyed the movie. Like, I mean, obviously one of the actors is probably one of my favorite actors, but
Yeah.
I mean, still I was going into it like it's really not my style of a movie because I don't have to put myself watching like children's shows and children's movies and stuff, and this is probably like pre-teen ish age range, but still like I was expecting to just kind of be bored the whole time, and I thought there were parts of it that were hilarious.
Yeah.
The scene in the jail where they're like do the music number was freaking hilarious. Like I don't know.
It really was.
Yeah. I was like, damn, this is a lot better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. So I will say I actually really, really enjoyed it. I dare say it felt very much like almost a continuation of the Santa Claus that I grew up with, which is Tim Allen's Santa Claus. It felt very much like that, but there were things that were obviously not really accurate to that are very different and completely different storyline. But it felt like they coincided, like they weren't stepping on each other's toes by being out there at the same time, because they were also still doing the Santa Clauses a lot through one of these, at least one or both of the movies they're filming.
Yeah, because these were only 2 years apart. 18 and 20.
Yeah. So it felt nice that it didn't feel like anyone was stepping on anyone else's toes. So it's like
completely different story.
It's like, okay, yeah. Plus, I really enjoyed it. It's just like, I know they contradict this towards the end of the movie, but it's just like, oh, he can't fly. How else do you think I turn into coal and move magically from space to space? It was his hat. Of course he can't fly. And of course, the reindeer, the bag and the whole thing, the whole like situation that they laid out in order in the first one to get through this and get to the next step and hurdle. It just felt so right and great. And then they contradicted at the end. They're like, of course I can do this. This was all just a setup.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, it was all a setup just to get the brother and the sister like to reconnect and like have to work through all the problems and all that. I thought that was actually kind of smart at the end was to do it that way, because then it solidified the message of the movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he's just like, okay, you see this guy, this is going to be you in a few years if you don't keep it up. If you keep it up, So it was just like that scene in the diner where they're just like, obviously,
yeah.
Or actually, I think it was a bar at that point, but
yeah, I mean, I like how they start off the movie with the teenage boy's troubled, like he's like getting into some serious trouble or potentially going to get in serious trouble. And, the kids lost their dad. It was like a year before.
Right.
So, I mean, they're still like, that's very new and like an open nerve. So, I mean, I thought like the setup was really good, but then like once they get with Santa Claus, like just chaos ensues. Especially right off the bat. The scene of them in that stolen car, like I thought that was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
They steal the car from the guy who stole the car. Yeah.
Right.
And then they get
it's
pulled
already
over.
stolen. I was going to return it.
Yeah. That shit was pretty funny too.
Yeah.
So
they go off that Dukes of Hazzard ramp and land, and he's just like, maybe if you ever meet Mrs. Claus, maybe just leave this whole part out.
Oh, boy.
But then, he ends up taking the film back, and everyone sees it anyway. So
this is true. He told on himself.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't leave the film with the girl. She was going to expose him, that little snitch. Oh, we got it all on tape. Nope.
Nope.
Santa snatch that shit.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah. I don't know, it would have been funny, but I can't imagine what it
That's
would
the
be
whole
like
point of
if
Christmas.
it ever does get revealed that, hey, look, Santa's real, and here's the evidence, proof of it. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't
Wouldn't
know
be
what
the
that would
same.
be. I think the world would go to chaos. Everyone would be like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sure.
No one would do anything. Anyway, I digress. Let's jump into the second movie.
Are we
I
gonna
will be
review
up
the
front
first
and
one?
say I did not enjoy this movie as much as I did the. Oh well, let's do the ratings. I know. Let's just go all out of order. But all right, so ratings. How are we rating this one? Derry, you're up.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good retelling of kind of an archetypal Christmas story.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably rate it, from my perspective, it's probably going to land about a 3.5. I would recommend other people watch it, even to the point where I wouldn't mind, like I said, with little kids, like if this is something they wanted to watch year after year. Like,
yeah, right.
We had Santa Claus the movie for me when I was a kid was one I wanted to watch year after year.
Yeah.
Like if I had kids and that's what they wanted to do, it was just a very solid Christmas movie. I don't know if it was necessarily something that I would be over the moon about.
Right.
But I think probably 3.5 is where this one would land for me.
Yeah. Humara, what about you?
I was also gonna say 3.5.
Yeah. And I won't stir the pot anymore, but I would agree. I am also on that 3.5 mark because I've already seen it twice now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not opposed to watching it again. Again, Kurt Russell, he's great. So yeah, I think it has rewatchability. It's fun. And some of it is so outrageous, it's impossible not to laugh at.
Right.
And the thing is we're not even the target audience. So, I mean, I think you got to put in perspective that this is targeted at a much younger demographic.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see where a younger kid would be like, oh, it's 4.5 stars. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it would be, it just sticks with them. It's one of their favorite movies. But yeah, I think from our perspective, though, it's good. It's got funny parts. It's got emotional parts. I was engaged the whole time. There wasn't really anything so like new or cutting edge concepts in it that really grabbed me.
Well, I would say the Elvish, speaking Elvish,
true,
was a new concept because before they've always spoken the same language.
Yep.
So the Elvish thing was a new concept. The hat was a new concept, even though they took that away at the end. So I thought that was interesting, but I did like how Santa had the watch that gave him a gauge, a meter, just like it was when Tim Allen in Tim Allen Santa Claus 2, where he had a magical gauge on his watch that he could look at, and he can only use so many things, and then his magic is gone, because that was the state that is one of my favorites. Santa Claus movie, the Santa Claus 2, because I just really enjoyed that. But getting back to this one, I liked how he had that watch. I liked how he had the gear, that the ball that had to find the bag. It's just like, that was all cool. I thought all those new things, to me, those were all new to me, and I thought they were cool.
Yeah.
speaking Elvish. Yeah. It's just
should have been Tolkien English
yeah,
or Elvish. I mean, that would have
right.
been sweet. All of a sudden, they just bring Middle Earth into it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That would have been pretty sweet. The elves would have had to have been tall and lanky though,
Mm-hmm.
so they wouldn't have been the traditional elf. But
These weren't the traditional elves.
Oh, these elves were like minions to me. Like they remind me a lot of Minions.
They did.
It's not what I thought.
Excuse me. I just cannot get rid of this tickle in my throat. But anyway, now back to what I was saying about Christmas Chronicles 2. I did not enjoy this one as much. I remember this is now the second time I have seen it, because as we were watching it, I was like, oh, wait, I thought this had just come out recently, like in the last few months. But then it's like, no, I remember watching this with the girls, but I fell asleep. So I was like, all right, so yeah, I do remember that. Because that stupid kid, they kept doing the fat trope with him, where it's just like, oh, he's fat and clumsy, and but he can do all sorts of things, and it's just like,
oh, the kid from Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Yep,
yeah,
that's the one I'm talking about. And it's just like, okay, like stereotypical. Oh, he's fat and his pants catch on fire, and he has to put his butt out in the snow, and it's just like, okay, it's just like those types of things have happened in so many movies. I was just like, I'm of course take offense to it to an extent, because it's like I am a big guy. I know it's just like, look, no one at any given point has lit my pants on fire, and I've had to put it out in snowbank. I've, I don't know. So it's like, come on. It's like, those are all myths to me. It's just pointless, but it was like it reminded me very much of like Bulk and Skull from Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't make him do the truffle shuffle. But I felt like they could have at any given point, but it just felt like it's a used gimmick that is overused, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
well, I mean, I thought the movie started kind of weak, because you're following the same girl.
Yeah.
And her older brother from the first movie, but then their mom is moving on and dating Tyrese Gibson.
Yeah.
And he has
Bob
a son. Yeah. And
what kind of name? Who names their kid Bob?
Well, he's probably named Robert, and they shorten it to Bob, but
yeah, I know, but still.
Nah.
It just like there was so much more motivation in the first one, with the brother like acting out because his dad's dead, the little girl struggling with it. Do you know who the mom was in the first movie?
No, who?
Brad Paisley, the country singer. That's his wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kim Williams Paisley. Yeah. I looked at her and I was like, I had to look it up because I thought it was her. Just from his music videos back in the day, but she was in a bunch of them. But there wasn't a lot of punch from the beginning, and then like I didn't like that it wasn't Christmas,
and it didn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah, it was what, 4 days before when she got there and the whole thing started, and
yeah,
I just didn't feel the same level of interest, like with just the overall premise. Like, the engagement wasn't there. I do think Goldie Hawn brought some like good parts to it. And it helps having her and Kurt Russell, who, I mean, have been together for, 50 some years at this point.
Wow.
I mean, like, and they're still they're like one of the Hollywood stories, at least from what's been put out there, that they don't have a lot of scandals and like Hollywood scandals and stuff. So
Right.
they have a really good on-screen chemistry. Like I remember when I was a kid, like watching Overboard, like I thought that was some of the funniest shit ever. Like when she falls off the boat and then all of a sudden Kurt Russell and his kids find Goldie Hawn and they all think she's their mom and shit. And I just found like the way they interact with each other always pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I just it missed, like the story in general missed for me.
Yeah. Because I mean, automatically, it is a huge detriment because, like you said, there's not as much emotional impact because the dad didn't just die. This is now a year after he's.
Mm-hmm.
This is a year later, and at some point, she's gonna get on with someone else. But
well, the first movie, the villain was time.
Yes,
it was a race against time. This one, they introduce a main villain,
Yeah.
and then like these little villains that like he causes, and then you have the Yule Cat and all that. But it just, I didn't want them to reproduce the first one.
No,
in any way, shape, or form. I almost think they should have went with a different family. Keep Kurt Russell, keep Goldie Hawn, give a new family, a new set of circumstances that brings them in contact with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Like, they kind of did it with the new kid that was with her.
Right.
But I just think they should have ended that first story, separated off that family, and then inserted a new family. Like, I think it shouldn't have been a continuation film.
Yeah, I agree. But I can't come up with anything like better or different. Like, other than having like a legit villain that's like not well, at this point, it's just a former elf who's turned into the human that because he hates humans.
Yeah, that was all weak.
It is just like, okay.
Yeah,
what did you say, Myra?
I said he disobeyed or the 5 whatever.
Yeah, the 5 things he
rules
broke.
Mm-hmm.
It was
silly.
It was such a weak premise and execution. And I don't know.
I mean, just do what other movies do. When you need a villain for Santa Claus, bring in Jack Frost, Cold Miser. I mean, they're all the same character. Just it's just the formula. Bring that in. Bring in Heat Miser. Something. I mean, they're already in the tropics. They're struggling with the tropics. Hey, drop in a guy who's on fire. Have Santa fight him. Done.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Yeah, the ending seemed like it wrapped up pretty quick. I don't think he really was sorry, even though he turned back to an elf.
I just think that kid's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he can play like a spoiled brat bad guy good, like he did in Deadpool.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like that kid's typecast now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could ever take him seriously, or think of him like not as kind of just a little jerk.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Which I feel bad for him because I know people who get typecast just usually don't recover ever.
Yep.
Until they do something drastic, like drop a bunch of weight and then randomly get cast in something different, completely different, like as a serial killer or.
Unless you're Giancarlo Esposito, who plays the same fucking bundled up crass character in every fucking show. He's the exact same, and even video games, because he was in whatever the fucking one video game was, as the exact same type of character. Like,
Oh no.
it seemed like there was a period where it seemed like every show wanted him as a villain.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Please
just
don't.
stop. Fucking stop.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Okay, hang on. Is this real? Are you being for real, zombie? Or is this a joke?
It's a joke.
It has to be a joke, but I don't know.
I think zombies had too much Mountain Dew at this point. Maybe lay off a little bit.
Right?
Dude, I tried those. Ugh, rough.
Are they good? No.
It literally tasted like Baja Blast Zero, so zero sugar, with just straight half vodka. And I don't like vodka, so well, I mean, I used to love it, but my body doesn't like it anymore. So it was disgusting to me.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Thanks for telling me. I probably won't try it now.
I wouldn't.
I want to try it because it's like, hey, I love Mountain Dew.
They're all sugar free.
We'll make our own.
You can't get ones that aren't sugar free.
Well, alcohol is sugar, so.
Well, but I'm just talking like added sugar to it. Yeah. Like not glucose, but fucking
corn
syrup. Yep. They don't. It's all. It's just literally diet Mountain Dew with fucking vodka in it. And
I don't like vodka either. So
yeah, no.
Well,
I do. I thought the rum we made back in the day with your brother, it was called it was Zombie. It was like that blue jug. It's called Zombie, and we mixed that with Mountain Dew, and we called it Dasami, and that was good. But
yeah, rum and soda seem to go better than vodka.
Yeah, but anyway, I digress. So are we gonna rate this movie?
2.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably rate this one a 2.
Yeah.
Although the airport scene, I don't know, seemed a little fake. All of it seemed fake.
Yeah, the musical scene wasn't as great. I did like the idea that like they traveled through time this time and she meets her dad and he has the same pocket knife. Like I thought that was pretty cool, but it wasn't enough to save this movie.
No, it really wasn't.
Yeah. After all of the cool stuff they did in the first one, it almost seemed like they tried to carbon copy some things. I was nowhere near as engaged in this one, and I would literally just rather them stopped at one movie.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
Yep, I hear that.
Too hard.
I will agree. I did think it was disappointing. I
mean, taking into account, I might give it a 2.5 just because the audience that it's geared towards, like, we're probably a little overly critical just because of, some little kid down there, they'll watch the same carbon copy shit over and over and over. I mean,
that's all Disney is.
Yeah, kids are smart in some ways, but they're dumb as shit in some other ways. And they will. I mean, I watched the same episode of Gumby about 4 trillion times. The same episode of Thundercats 4 trillion times. Like the Groon to the Destroyer episode, I couldn't even tell you how many times I've seen that fucker. But
I've only seen it once.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Because I didn't see it. It wasn't one of the ones that my mama recorded for me. It wasn't until I got the complete set that I went back through and started watching all of them start to finish that I saw the whole I almost called him Groon episode, and it's just like, Oh, that's weird.
So I had it. It was one episode on a videotape, and me and my three brothers, we each got a videotape at the same time. And like mine had that Thundercats episode on it, and that was the only thing on that videotape. And then my oldest brother got a Gumby episode. My brother Keith, I think, got an episode or a show called Here Comes the Grump, which was actually a great animated show. And then I can't remember what my brother Kyle got, but I think we saved up like freaking like cereal UPCs and shit and mailed them in like back in the day and like to get those videotapes. But it was just one episode. So like I had seen other Thundercat episodes, but I mean, I had that shit on tape and I would just watch it, rewind it, watch it, rewind it, watch it.
Wow.
So did it, because that was a 2-parter. Did that not have the first part on it, or was it an hour tape?
I think it was the whole story. Okay. So it was probably an hour.
The first
on
one,
there.
The Thunder Kittens break the seal, and the second one, he comes around and causes havoc and all that.
How do you remember that?
I just watched it, not like a year ago.
Oh wow!
So, or 2. Whenever we ended up getting the Thundercats complete edition.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I would tell people watch the first one.
Totally.
And then go make yourself an adult beverage while your kids watch the second one.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know, go bang it out with the wife while your kids watch the second one. Give them matches and a lighter and let them light the carpet on fire.
Ours already lit candles. We're done.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Yeah, I would also say a 2 for that. Maybe 2.5 if only because the first one was awesome, but you'd be better off not watching it. Now, I wanted to talk about this just for a minute. I wanted to ponder on what it would be to have Kurt Russell return and Goldie Hawn return for another Christmas Chronicles. What do you think, and what should they do?
Well, I think they should definitely leave this goddamn family alone.
Yeah.
Like it's
they don't
just
believe anymore.
Yeah, it'll be tired. I mean, they're true believers. So there's all these different true believer, like they come from a line of true believers. So there must be other lines of true believers. So let's get a story from one of those.
Maybe go to another country.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, go to like
learn about their Christmas traditions instead of ours.
Go to England where they just drop the F-bomb 24/7. And calling everybody cunts and shit.
Right. Oh, that's one thing that is funny to me when you're trying to portray someone who's like English, or it's just like, yeah, that'd be pretty wild because you don't really understand how they talk.
I would fit in there perfectly fine because I dropped the F-bomb like it's going out of style, and I could literally use the C word constantly. Totally would fit in.
Yeah, I mean, there are books that I've listened to, like on audiobook, and it's just like, it feels like something that we would end up saying, like talking about, like on this show, or just between the two after the show or something. You know, it's like, oh, it sounds like that sounds familiar.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I used to talk with my friends like that all the time, but so just to put this into perspective, as of December 2024, there have not been a confirmed Christmas Chronicles movie 3. However, it's been hinted at that the franchise is, as a continuous TV production, like that. There's one in the works at some point. So that's why I just want to talk about this, because here's some things that I think would be interesting, and I want to know if you think it would be interesting. They hinted at in the second one that there are multiple different kinds of elves. So those were, I don't know, Christmas elves, or like, are there wood elves? Are there, sea elves? Like, what are the different kind of elves, and what do they like? What are they into? Is there anything that magical type of thing that they can work and do?
In that case, do a spin-off movie like they've done with Despicable Me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just of the elves, because I was elfed out by the end of the second movie.
Yeah, totally.
Like with them going crazy and all that shit, and that kid shooting them with a Nerf crossbow.
Yeah,
that was definitely lame.
I was just like, this is fucking stupid. So
how did that destroy a drone is beyond me.
Yeah. So I would say that's how I would want it to happen. If you want to explore the elves, come up with like some Smurfs-esque like elf story with little elf characters where they have to go on a journey and meet the other elves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good with that. And then I think
have to watch it that way.
Yeah. And then I feel like you've got to keep the core the core mission of Santa Claus helping someone while also having to, in some way, shape, or form, save Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be like a time thing. You could have a villain. I just think they had a weak villain in this one.
Definitely.
So like, who's the big bad of Christmas or whatever? Like, they would have to come up with some story about some big time villain, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I also think that this is a movie that needs to happen. I haven't seen it happen yet. That doesn't mean there isn't one out there. I know I haven't seen it. But I want to see Santa Claus going up against
Krampus.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Fight to the death.
Dude, have Santa Claus have to beat the crap out of Krampus and or fight over Christmas. Like, have a storyline where Krampus has a grip on the hood or wherever you want to put the story, and then have him have to fight for the area and win it back from him. It's like, I think that would be a fun Christmas movie. Zombie says, why does it have to be about saving Christmas at all? Wasn't the first two about that? Yeah, the first two was about that.
Well, now we're just beating up Krampus.
But
yeah, well, I mean, I think it's a good premise. Like, and here's another thing that I thought.
Yeah, but I think what Zombie's saying is if you're gonna have a third of these movies, why does it even have to be like? Why does Christmas have to be threatened? Like, why couldn't it be about some other main motivation?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they talked about how so he says that was exactly.
Didn't you, Pumira, ask where Krampus is from, like where it originated?
Yeah.
It's like
Germany?
Yeah, German, Czech. It's like that Central European area.
Okay.
Austria, Liechtenstein, Switzerland. It's big over there.
Right. So
let's take that movie over there
and have it be about how Santa had to win back that area from Krampus, because they've already said that in this movie. Oh, what? Haven't you ever saved Christmas? Has any Christmas ever not been saved? And he's just like, the dark times, the Germany, World War I, World War II, that whole area. You remember that? You remember hearing about those? that was that when I couldn't save Christmas, you know? And it's just like, it would be cool to have him try to defeat, have it be like a period piece, like where he's like either trying to fight Krampus to win back the freedom of the people, so to speak.
Well, what they should have done was done something like where he doesn't save Christmas as like the second movie in a trilogy, almost like Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
And then come back with some kind of ultimate saving Christmas. I don't know. Zombie's idea, I mean, could something be made where it's not about saving Christmas? I mean, most movies involving Santa Claus somehow is about saving Christmas, but I don't know.
Yeah, Krampus can kidnap Mrs. Claus, he says. Make it a period piece showing that battle and fast forward to present day to save it. It could be like a time shifted type movie. I could see that. I think it's a good idea. Something that Netflix should consider, and just honestly take our criticisms about the second one and turn them into something better. If you do ever make a Christmas Chronicles 3, it's a shame to waste a talented actor such as Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, and it's just, I don't know. And it seems a shame to use that family again, even though I think that family does offer some interesting perspective. I think it should be about, like, if they did something with that family, one of those two kids has to crap out their own kids, and one of them or multiple of them have to be naughty, where it breaks the tree of the true believers line. And it's about saving the line of true believers, which is sort of harkens back to the first one, where it was sort of he was sort of teetering on the edge of that. But yeah,
I'd say just get rid of that family,
or just don't.
Yeah,
or just don't make a third Christmas Chronicles.
I mean,
that would be preferable. You shouldn't have even made the second one.
I have a feeling that probably the way the second one performed for them, it's probably not going to happen.
Well, au contraire, as of just today, even the it topped the charts both times it was on. Like, the time back when we watched it with my kids, and today, as I was closing out, it said this is a top movie, and it had a ranking in the top movies. Wow. And it's like in the top 10 or whatever, and it's just like, how?
I don't believe they're bullshit.
How is this? I know, right?
The fucking rankings on Netflix and shit is all an algorithm to like try to get you to watch something. So. Yeah. I don't believe that top movies for me are top movies for you. Like, they're not the ultimate top movies. They're programming that shit to try to get you sucked into fucking something.
Top 10 of your interest.
Fucking streaming services are evil at the end of the day. They're fucking evil. They want to rule your world. They want to control your brain. Like, you got to break out of that shit, guys. You got to resist.
Do your own thing.
All right. So speaking of, let's break out of this conversation and branch off onto what we're going to watch for next week. What are we going to watch for next week? Any thoughts?
I mean, I'm really interested. I was talking before we jumped in the show. There is a movie on Netflix. It is a Japanese period piece, similar to Shogun, the show. Mm-hmm. It's called Uprising. Dustin and I both are big samurai fans, so that was one that I had thrown out there potentially for us to watch. You had said there's a couple like horror movies that you had been interested in watching, so
I could go for some more horror if that tickles y'all's fancy. I could go for a mix of things. We also talked about it's going to be New Year's. And so we talked about watching Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2, which is a
it's set at New Year's.
It's a set in a New Year's movie. So we could go that route, or we could break free and do the Uprising movie, and we could figure something else out to watch with that.
Zombie, we need your input here.
Yeah. What is it you want to watch, dude?
I mean, like I told you guys, I will never turn down Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters is probably in my top 10 movies.
Okay.
Of all time. Like it just the cast alone solidifies that.
Let's put this into perspective. I've never seen Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters 2.
Me either.
Damn.
So
thought Pumaira would come in for the win, but no.
No. I've seen more movies than her, but this is one that my friends and I never really got around. Like I said, I think we watched it at a party a long time ago, but I wasn't paying attention to the party. There's too many people around.
I think that seals it. Like it's New Year's. It's the second one's New Year's oriented. So I say we watch 1 and 2 together. Okay. We can always watch Uprising and something else later.
Yeah. I also want to come back to that Taylor Sheridan movie marathon.
Oh, yeah.
So the Taylor Sheridan movie marathon we'll watch this week. We're going to watch Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And then maybe next week, if we feel like it, we'll watch the other 2 movies.
Uprising.
Yeah, Uprising. What happened to Derry?
He dropped. He didn't mean to leave.
Come back.
He will.
Busters 1 and 2. My web access point went offline. Okay, so Zombie, what did you think of the movies while you're here in the chat? I'll bring up the ratings if you're still here. What did you rate these movies at? And maybe you haven't got to watch them yet. Who knows? But for next week. All right. All right. I did not get to watch them. Can't rate them. All right. Well, that's a bummer, but understandable. Totally understandable. You got a busy life going on. So nothing wrong with that. All right. So Ghostbusters 1 and 2 next week. We'll be watching those movies, and we should probably check to make sure that they're available.
We could probably rent them from the library.
Let's see. Ghost. Let's see. Ghostbusters. I'd be surprised if it's not on Max or something. Who knows?
You could also check, Plex.
Yeah, I'm sure that he would probably have them. Okay, so this says Roku channel. So you can watch them on Roku. And oh no. Okay, so it's also available to rent for like $3. So let's see about Ghostbusters 2. Ghost.
I didn't even know that was a New Year's Eve movie.
Ghostbusters 2. Oh boy, it doesn't show much of anywhere. Oh wait, no, it does say that it's streaming on Roku and also available to rent for $3.
All right.
So yeah, we'll watch those. Who knows? Maybe they're on somewhere else that it's just not showing for me.
All right.
Okay, so I did not watch them. Can't rate them. You guys didn't sell me on seeing them either. So, and then my mom comes in and says, LOL, agreed. Mother, you at least need to watch the first one. It is a legitimate great movie. Very great movie. We rated it a 4. All of us collectively rated it a 4.
3.5.
Well, yeah, 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 to 4. So I think that's worth watching. And I'm telling you, it's worth watching. So watch it before it's gone.
Forever.
Well, I'm sure it won't be gone forever, but it'll be back next year. But
Yeah.
All right. That is the show. Again, join us on Monday as we hang out with Corn Boy.
That's cool.
And yep, it's going to be a fun time. We're technically not interviewing, but obviously we're going to be asking the much desired questions like, hey, when's the dragon coming out? Hey, what are your thoughts on the price of the dragon? You know, things like that. Those are just automatic questions that we have to ask. So we're going to be asking them. So, you know, come hang out and join us as we hang out with Corn Boy. And yeah, until then, Dragon Nuggets. Yeah, that's right. See about getting any kind of Dragon Nuggets drug out of him. We'll see what we can do. And until next time,
Happy New Year.
And Thunder Nerds ho.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends, catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends, catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove.